another day or another week. We have a university that we want to move to a country, Austria, where these games are not played. A country where the rule of law and respect for free institutions still means something. Let me make it clear that we are not going to Vienna to be a university in exile. We're much more ambitious than that. We will do what we do here, which is maintain world-class teaching and research in partnership with the great institutions of science and knowledge in Austria. In this press conference, I'm not going to answer any questions about the Hungarian government's motives or intentions. I'm not going to waste time trying to figure out what is in the mind of the man who runs this country. Just go ask him, don't ask me. What I will say is this: Hungarians should ask themselves, who benefits here? Does it benefit Budapest to chase an institution out of the country? Does it benefit Hungary? Does it benefit Hungarian higher education and science? Who does it benefit? It doesn't benefit us. It imposes huge new burdens on the university, which we will make. But basically, this is a dark day for freedom in Hungary. And it's a dark day for academic freedom. Because the simple fact is, and this is the fact you need to hold on to, the Hungarian government has forbidden an American institution to issue U.S. degrees in this country after January the 1st, 2019. That is the fact of the matter. And if that isn't an attack on a U.S. institution, and if that isn't an attack on academic freedom, I don't know what is. Now, just in conclusion, Central European University has come through a testing experience, and we will thrive. We will establish degree operations in Vienna. We'll announce our location there, the precise location, sometime in January in Vienna. We look forward to doing so. Incoming students will be welcome to Vienna. Returning students, already here, will finish their studies in Budapest. Above all, life will go on. This university will continue to win research awards and recruit wonderful students from around the world. Because, my friends, there are some good things in this world that the rulers of this country cannot stop. And CEU is one of them. Thank you for your attention, and now I'd like Livia Matei, who has to leave very shortly to go to Vienna on university business, will have something briefly to say, and then I'd like to ask the others for brief comments in the Hungarian language.
So it looks like I'm starting the commute already today. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming and for your interest in reporting about CEU and our situation, also about our plans for the future. I am going to Vienna right after this press conference at 2:30. I'll have to leave and meet the chairman of our board, who is now on screen, and together with him meet the mayor of Vienna to discuss about our long-term premises that we are looking to develop in Vienna. And I wanted to take this opportunity, speaking about Vienna, to mention a couple of differences between Vienna and Budapest, between Austria and Hungary. And I'm not talking about Vienna and Budapest as cities. We love both cities, Budapest and Vienna, but I'm talking about the political atmosphere and also about the attitude vis-à-vis science and education. And I should say, and this you probably know already, we have been welcomed in Vienna by almost everybody. The city of Vienna welcomed us there, and as you know, the city of Vienna is led by a coalition with social democrats in majority. We have been welcomed by the federal chancellor, and as you know, the federal chancellor is the leader of the Popular Party and representing the right of the political spectrum in Austria. So it is remarkable that both the left and the right in Vienna and in Austria welcome CEU. And we have asked ourselves, And you may ask yourselves, why are they welcoming us? Haven't they heard from their colleagues here in Budapest what a bad university we are, how many problems we have created? And the truth is quite the contrary. They are welcoming to us because they believe we are a good, perhaps even great university, and we, CEU, will be a great addition to the academic and scientific landscape in Vienna, and what we bring, in particular in the social sciences and humanities, is very much welcome there. So this is a very different attitude vis-à-vis science, education, advanced education, from what we have encountered here and which has forced us to live. Let me make a second comment, and I will end with this. I think you have noticed throughout this period and today, the line that we have received from our president is to act with dignity, politely in all our communication, all our public communications, in the communications, direct or indirect, there have been very few, direct with the government. Even when the government used very low tricks and tactics, low-level propaganda, mud throwings, lies, we have not answered in kind, and that will continue. This, as I was thinking about this today, it reminds me of that saying of someone who is fighting another fight somewhere else. When they went low, we went high. And we will continue like that, and this is not because by now we believe that this is a government interested in reasonable, decent arguments, not that this is a government interested in the rule of law, not even a democratic government, but because this is how a university should ask. How a university should ask. And I think although many of us believed over these last several months that it might be possible for the government to hear the voice of reason, now we understand that that is not possible. And we are asking ourselves, I am asking ourselves, what kind of government is this? And what we have seen in the last years, not only the last 18 months, is that the government attacked a series of freedoms. It was not only the freedom of CEU, not only the academic freedom, but the freedom of other institutions, starting with the press, including the judiciary, and they imposed the restrictions to the freedoms of these institutions and the freedoms of many Hungarian individuals. I could say this government is feeding on freedom, on the freedom of Hungarian institutions and individuals. But the comment that I really want to make, and this is my last one, a line has been crossed. In the case of CEU, so far we have been subjected to restrictions. Nobody has been sent to jail. In the case of CEU, people are being forced out of the country. So this is not restriction anymore, this is repression. The line that has been crossed is that in Hungary, the reign of repression has started.
I want to, we've been speaking to you only in English, and we've always made because we are also a Hungarian institution, I want to make sure we also speak to you in the Hungarian language. And at the end, I would like Leon Botstein, our chairman, to make some concise summary remarks, but I was wondering whether I could ask Zsolt Enyedi Zsolt to make a brief comment in Hungarian, and then ask Eva Fodor, our rector, and then possibly if Attila Csikan would like to add something after that, that would be great, and then we'd be happy to take your questions.
Michael, because I have to go to a meeting in Vienna, maybe I could simply do my bit before the...
Well, if you can be concise, Leon, and give time for us to
oh no, I have
speak
nothing
in Hungarian, I'd be grateful.
Oh no, I have nothing to say except to provide the support of the board through your statement, Michael, and to Liviu, and to underscore that the creating of a permanent campus in Vienna was a necessary step that we had to take to preserve the continuity of the CEU as an American institution abroad, and we tried very hard to come to an agreement, New York State, with the government, and we're returning to the basic origins of the CEU as a multi-campus university. So, and we hope that in the long term, we will find ourselves in both countries, at least, and as a first-class university, which everybody's interest and to provide the board support to you and to Libya.
Thanks very much, Leon. Now, if I could ask, you're now released, Mr. Chairman, and Zsolt, the word over to you.
Tisztelettel köszöntöm Önöket, hölgyeim és uraim! Szeretném magyarul is nagyon röviden összefoglalni majd mondani valónk lényegét. Már nem látunk reményt a CEU működési engedélyének meghosszabbítására. Ezért ma bejelentjük, hogy minden amerikai akkreditációi programunkat Bécsben indítjuk el jövő évben. Döntésüket azért kellett ma nyilvánosságra hozni, mert a diáktoborzás szempontjából ez volt az utolsó lehetséges időpont. A New York-i Oktatási Hivatal igazolta, hogy államilag elismert felsőoktatási képzést folytatunk az Egyesült Államokban. Ennek ellenére a kormány kifejezte, hogy nem hajlandó aláírni az egyetem magyarországi működéséhez szükséges nemzetközi egyezményt. Ehhez képest az osztrák hatóságok és Bécs tártkarokkal várják az egyetemet. Igyekszünk a továbbiakban is oktatni és kutatni Budapesten. Még hogy az ilyen tevékenységekre rendelkezésre álló tér be is szűkül. Azonban a még rendelkezésünkre álló teret maximálisan ki kívánjuk használni. A CEU jövőben is sikeres, és a magyarok számára is elérhető egyetem lesz. Köszönöm.
Jó napot kívánok! A rektor úr a költözésről beszélt, és ennek részletei nyilván mindenkit érdekelnek. Ez volt a témája egyébként, a központi témája a közösségi fórumunknak, amit az imént tartottunk. Tehát az volt a témája, hogy hogyan is képzeljük el ezt az átmeneti éveket Bécsben és Budapesten. Most az az igazság, hogy a legtöbb konkrét kérdésre még nem tudunk választ adni. De van néhány vezérelv, néhány vezetőelv, ami már most is világosan látszik, és ezeket szeretném felsorolni. A legelső dolog az, hogy a legfontosabb számunkra az, hogy a tanulás és a tanítás minősége ne csökkenjen. Tehát, hogy a diákok Bécsben is és Budapesten is a jelenlegihez hasonló, esetleg még annál is magasabb színvonalú oktatáshoz jussanak. Ez lesz az első számú elv, amit figyelembe veszünk, amikor arról döntünk, hogy hogyan rendezzük be az új életünket. A második az, hogy meg kell őriznünk az egyetemünk egységét. A kormány korábbi állításaival ellentétben ez mindig egy egyetem volt. A CEU egy egyetem, és az is fogunk maradni a jövőben. Annak ellenére, hogy több helyszínen oktatunk. Ezügyben is, ennek érdekében szeretnénk dolgozni. Végül pedig szeretném megemlíteni, hogy emellett a két elv mellett fontos számunkra az is, hogy az oktatás átszervezésével kapcsolatos döntéseket az egyetem dolgozóinak és diákjainak az aktív részvételével, konzultációk után hozzuk meg, illetve hogy ezek átláthatóak legyenek, tehát átlátható döntési mechanizmusokon keresztül szülessenek meg. Ebben a szellemben kezdtünk el dolgozni. Köszönöm szépen.
And I'd like to ask Attila Chikan to say a word or two. If you'll allow me just to, this is a man who's a trustee of the university. Everybody in Hungary knows that he was a pioneer in providing free education and education that expressed the best of the Hungarian scientific tradition in the foundation of Reich College. He's been a trusted friend. He has served in various distinguished roles in the Hungarian governments of all parties, and we are lucky to have him as our friend.
Thank you very much. Néhány évvel ezelőtt, amikor csatlakoztam az EU-nak a bordjához, akkor meg nem fordult a fejembe, hogy ennek a vállalásnak politikai implikációi lesznek. Én a magam részéről azokat az egészen kiemelkedően izgalmas társadalomtudományi kutatási és oktatási terveket láttam, amelyeket a CEU már akkor maga elé tűzött, és amelyeket az évek során követett. És azt gondoltam, hogy ez a tevékenység, ez lényegesen hozzá tud járulni a hazai felsőoktatási tudománynak a fejlődéséhez. Ha valaki akkor azt mondta volna, hogy egy ilyen eseményre sor kerül, mint amit ma ugye kénytelen volt a CEU jelenteni, azt én nem hittem volna el. Hát ez mégis bekövetkezett, és én nagyon komoly veszteségnek tartom, kiemelkedően fontos veszteségnek a magyar tudomány és oktatás szempontjából, nem akarom ismételni a már elhangzottakat. Én azt gondolom, hogy ez egy szomorú pillanat, és nagyon remélem azt, hogy ki tudunk belőle úgy jönni, hogy a CEU ne veszítse el a jelentőségét, és hát, hogy azon túlmenőleg, hogy a bécsi kampuszon megalapít egészen új területeket, új kutatási ágakat, megtart egy elég erős lábat Magyarországon is, és hát itt is oktatási, kutatási tevékenységet folytat. Köszönöm szépen.
I think now we've been talking at you. We'd now be happy to take questions, one per customer. Those of you can free to ask questions in Hungarian. Those will be answered by our Hungarian colleagues. Questions in English will be answered by me and the provost. Who's going to start? Yeah. Perhaps it'd be a good idea for people to identify themselves. That would be helpful.
Jim Thorpe from the BBC. Please, Mr. Oliver, the President, mentioned that he used the phrase multi-campus university. Can you clarify, please, what is going to remain here? Is that clear to you? Will there still be teaching? Will Hungarian accredited degrees still be issued here? What about the buildings? Thank you.
Returning students will be taught here next September. We retain accreditation and are proud of the fact that we secured accreditation in Hungary in March 2018 after an external international review. So we'll proceed on the basis that this can continue to be a teaching site of some kind. We will maintain research activities, research centers if we can. But notice the way I'm saying this. I have to tell you, we're in a lawless situation. I say that with regret. We want to continue in Budapest as long as we can. We want to maintain this beautiful building as a resource for all the citizens of Budapest. And we have people coming through our doors all the time, and it delights us. So we want to continue to play that role in Budapest. But we're in uncharted territory here. We're not seeking to provoke the government. I'm just saying we actually don't know what it's going to be possible for us to do, but we're proceeding on the basis that because we have accreditation as CEU, we will continue to operate a teaching and research presence in Budapest. I don't know whether Zsolt Enyedi, who our pro-rector for Hungarian Affairs, would like to add something either in English or in Hungarian on that important question.
Just a small comment that out of the degree-given programs, only 1/5 is accredited in Hungary. At the same time, we have a number of non-degree programs, and we very much hope that students who are enrolled in CEU in Vienna will be able to come to listen to lectures, will be able to use the library here, will be able to use this fantastic infrastructure and other facilities that we have in Budapest. But in order to do so, we need the cooperation of Hungarian authorities. And this is something that we cannot take for granted.
Perhaps you could say that in Hungarian, just so that this is an important question and needs to be understood by the Hungarian public.
Tehát akkor mondanám magyarul is, hogy a fokozatot adó programjainknak csak 5/5 van Magyarországon akreditálva. Ez komoly nehézséget jelent számunkra, de ennek ellenére reménykedünk abban, hogy fogunk tudni tanítani és kutatni itt Budapesten. Reménykedünk abban, hogy a Bécsbe beiskolázott diákaink eltölthetnek itt néhány hetet, hónapot, órákat hallgatva, használhatják a könyvtárat, az egyéb infrastruktúrát, de mindenhez az kell, hogy a magyar hatóságok kooperáljanak velünk. És ez olyan dolog, amit nem evidens, nem lehetünk biztosak abban, hogy meg lesz a szükséges mértékű kooperáció.
Okay, another question. Question there. Yeah.
Titkosszolások az RTL híradótól látnak-e arra esélyt, hogy esetleg egy pozitív európai bírósági döntés után a most elköltöző képzések visszatérnek Budapestre, vagy Budapest örökre elveszítette a CEU ezen részét, illetve részben említették, hogy logisztikai nehézségeket is okozhat majd ez a képzés. Látják azt már esetleg, hogy nem is kell majd vizsgázni az oktatóknak, diákoknak, amiatt, hogy 2 helyen lesz a képzés?
Let me answer in English, and then Joel Enyedi or Eva can chime in. These are questions about what would happen if there was a favorable judgment of the European Court of Justice. As I said in my statement, we take all that very seriously. We think we've got a pretty good case, although you can look arrogant if you prejudge a case. The judges have got to do it. All I can say, as a matter of fact, is they've not held a hearing. It's before the court. We feel we have a strong case that this CEU violates European law. Simple as that. If the judgment is given, then we would assume that the Hungarian government, being a European state, would respect the judgment. The question, right? It's up to the, will they respect the judgment? We certainly will, and we will take action following. But as I said to you earlier, I can't wait. I've got to get students in our classes next September. That's the issue. Secondly, the move to Vienna is a permanent move. We are establishing a campus, and as I said earlier, we're not a university in exile. We have no desire to be there in Budapest, in Vienna, and kind of lob shells backwards in Budapest. No desire at all. We want to be part of the community in Vienna. But I'll be frank with you. I mean, we wouldn't have been through 18 months of this unless it demonstrated to the Hungarian people our deep and profound desire to remain a part of higher education in Hungary. I can't emphasize that much. And now the question doesn't depend on us. We've been thrown out as an American institution, and the question is whether we can survive and maintain research and teaching here under the existing accreditations. And I have to say, I have no desire to stir up polemics with the government, but you'll be familiar with the issues relating to the Academy of Sciences. You'll be aware of the changes they've made in relation to gender studies. This hardly creates an environment that is conducive to confidence that the Hungarian government will be a reliable partner of higher education in the future. And this is not just a problem for my university, it's a problem for every university in this country.
Tehát valóban a luxemburgi bíróság sem tárgyalta még a felsőoktatási törvény kérdését, és a Magyar Alkotmánybíróság sem. Meglehetősen magabiztosak vagyunk abban a tekintetben, hogy a jog szempontjából igazunk van, azonban nincs már időnk várni. Ezért dönteni kellett. Abban is elkötelezettek vagyunk, hogy akárhogyan dönt a bírói fórum, mi Bécsben mindenképpen egy permanens, komoly kampuszt fönt akarunk tartani. Most a következő évben ez azt fogja jelenteni, hogy valóban nekünk, tanároknak sokat kell majd ingáznunk. Még nem tudjuk, hogy pontosan mennyit, de ez egy komoly terhet jelent, de ez egy olyan teher, amit mindannyian vállalunk.
Question here and there. Oh, sorry. Question here. And if you, again, I've forgotten, if you could identify yourself, that would be helpful.
Valahogy Facsik Rádió. Azt szeretném kérdezni, hogy nem tartanak-e attól, hogy Ausztriában is éri majd önöket támadás? Mert igaz, hogy például a kancellár vagy Bécsváros szívesen látja önöket, de az FPÖ részéről, ugye az ÖVP-nek a koalíciós partnere részéről már elég komoly támadásokat kaptak, legalábbis verbálisakat, és azért ez mégiscsak egy kormányzó párt. Tehát nem tartanak-e attól, hogy a CEU valamilyen támadás alatt azért Ausztriában is lesz?
Welcome to 2018. Welcome to our world. More seriously, though, and I like Jolt or Eva, perhaps Eva could do. We have had meetings with the Minister of Education of the government of Austria, the federal government. We have had meetings with the mayor of Vienna. The welcome is clear and unequivocal. I'm aware that there are other parties in Austria that have a more difficult relation to this question, but we have been repeatedly assured at the highest level that we will be welcomed in Vienna, and we'll work on that basis.
Megfordítom akkor mindezt, hogy összefoglalom. válasz első része az volt, hogy sajnos ilyen az élet, ilyen a világ jelenleg, de egyelőre semmilyen problémát nem tapasztaltunk. Ausztriában minden irányból, a legfelsőbbtől a legalsóbbig, tehát az oktatásminisztertől Bécs polgármesteréig egyértelműen csak jó szándékot és csak jó szándékot tapasztaltunk. Tehát bár tudjuk, hogy léteznek másfajta vélemények is, egyelőre úgy érezzük, hogy a fogadtatásunk pozitív lesz.
I think there was a question here and then there was a question up there. Sir? We got the... Sorry.
Peter Murphy from the French news agency. You mentioned the ECJ. It hasn't even had a hearing yet. Do you want to comment on the failure of the outside world to change what happened in this case? The European institutions, the US, the EPP, who talked about red lines for academic freedom.
That's an excellent question. I can't deal with the world I would like. I have to deal with the world I've got. And it is a fact that there have been many declarations, expressions of support. We've had wonderful expressions of support from universities around the world. We did not seek this, we got it. But I would concur with you that no leverage has been exerted on the government of Hungary from the outside. And that's where I am. And that's why we have to move this institution, the US accredited degrees, to a location where there is the rule of law, there is judicial review, and where we have some confidence that we can operate with stability. Academic freedom and the rule of law are inseparable. If you don't have the rule of law, you pretty quickly don't have academic freedom. And we've tried to make this point of clear to European partners, to American partners, but at the end of the day, they have not made this point sufficiently strongly to their Hungarian partners. And so I am where I am. We are where we are. There's no point complaining about it. There's no point regretting it. It's just welcome to 2018.
From Magyar Hang. My question is regarding Mr. Imatyev's statement that CEU responded to the Hungarian higher education law. However, your cooperation with Bar College, so the only major you started there, or rather it's a minor, so you couldn't be sure that it fulfills the requirements because it can be taken up in itself. So you have to take up another graduate training. So you weren't sure whether you fulfill the bare minimum. Some pundits say that it's intentionally messing with the government. So why didn't the CEU put more effort into this cooperation with Bar College? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question from Magyar Hang. It's always a pleasure to be in dialogue with you. If I can just say, I've got students, CEU students, in New York right now. I've got more students there next January. Real students, real people. The claim that we did not invest, the claim that we did not take this seriously, is false. And I'll tell you why. No responsible university can play around with an elected government. They may not care about the rule of law, but actually I do, and we do. We did not agree with Lex CEU. That's a matter of public record. But When the Hungarian government concluded the agreement with the state of New York in September, it had a requirement, and we sought conscientiously to meet it, because we take our obligations seriously. The New York State Board of Education is a serious accreditation body. It said we were conducting educational activities in the state of New York. The government of Hungary chose not to listen to the people in New York. I leave that to the Hungarian government to explain. But I am telling you, we sought conscientiously to fulfill our obligations. We have students there now. We will have students there in the next semester. And little remarks about shacks and all the stuff we've listened to are, with the greatest respect, false. I don't know whether Jolt would like to add a word.
Excuse me, just the trainings in New York are registered. So those trainings that are launched in New York, those master trainings, are launched by the CEU or part of the CEU that's registered in Budapest. So it's not an American-based CEU. The only American-based CEU is the cooperation with Bard College, but there's only one minor.
Look, with the greatest respect, we've been playing this game for a long time. I am telling you, as the president and rector of this university, I don't play games with the Hungarian government. I never have, I never will. Okay? We have sought conscientiously to discharge an obligation. We have fulfilled our obligation under that law. The Hungarian government does not agree. That's what you're telling me. We understand that. But I can't sit around here for another 6 months playing this game, because I've got students to recruit, I've got a university to run, and the government's failure to acknowledge our efforts to comply creates a situation in which the people of Hungary lose an institution that has tried at all times to be a credit and a benefit to Budapest and the whole country.
Just one sentence or two. So the New York Higher Education Department has certified that CEU conducts higher education activities in the state of New York. I was born in Romania. Whenever I have to show my birth certificate, I show a certification provided by the Romanian authorities. Never the Hungarian authorities questioned that document. We don't understand why would anybody in Hungary question the document issued by an American authority. The higher education law very explicitly states that the higher education activity conducted in your country of origin has to be certified by the authorities of your own country, that is in our case United States. They are the ones who issued this document. So if the Hungarian government questions, without, by the way, any investigation, the validity of the American authorities, thereby it questions U.S. authorities in general.
Thank you. Another question? Question here. Yes.
Sima Dániel az Indextől. A magyar kampuszra kérdeznék még rá egy kicsit, ugye azt mondták, hogy maradnak a magyar diplomátadó képzések. Ez mennyire jelent problémát? Ugye tudomásom szerint jelenleg a tanárok, akik tanítanak, azok részt vesznek mindkét típusú képzésben, tehát kell új tanárokat fölvenni, emiatt meg tudják-e tartani, meg tudják-e tölteni most ezt az épületet, amiben vagyunk, így a technikai dolgokra lennék kíváncsi, illetve hogy ez mennyi ideig maradhat majd így.
It's a great question, and I think I'd like to ask Eva Fodor to contribute. This illuminates what's ridiculous about this situation. We are being forced to operate a campus that imposes enormous costs on our faculty. I'm not complaining about it. I don't get to choose here. This is the situation that the government has forced upon us. We will have faculty commuting from Budapest to Vienna in the first year. We will maintain the quality of our academic programs. I mean, I'd remind this audience, we have departments that are in the top 50 in the world, okay? So my problem is, how do I maintain the academic quality of what we do in a situation imposed upon me by the Hungarian government? It's a ridiculous situation. But our faculty will have to rise to the challenge. That's all I can say. But you put your finger on what is a very frustrating circumstance.
Köszönjük a kérdést. Szeretnénk minél több dolgot itt tartani Budapesten. Mi is szeretjük ezt az épületet, a könyvtárat és így tovább. Ez részben nem rajtunk múlik. A törvény megengedi azt, hogy azok a diákok, akik már beiratkoztak, azok itt fejezzék be a tanulmányaikat. Tehát ők mindenképpen itt maradhatnak Budapesten. Ezen kívül, ahogy ezt említettük, az egyetem magyar jogi személye, a CEU, Közép-Európai Egyetem most kapta az újra akkreditációját. Tehát 10 olyan programunk van, amelyik Magyarországon akkreditált és magyar diplomát ad. Ezekre is felvehetünk diákokat, illetve számos szakirányú továbbképzésünk is van, ezekbe is elvileg beiratkozhatnak diákok. Tehát számos módja van annak, hogy diákok Magyarországon vagy Magyarországon is tanuljanak. Igyekezni fogunk ezt elérni, hogy minél inkább itt lehessenek. Ahogy mondtuk, ez nem rajtunk múlik, vagy nem csak rajtunk.
Another question? Sir?
Good afternoon, this is Martin Denay from Reuters. I would like to ask you to please comment on the intensity of support from the US in particular. There was an article in the Washington Post recently which very nicely detailed the change of tune demonstrated by the ambassador to Budapest, Mr. Kornstein, who arrived in this city in the summer clearly broadly in support of CEU, visited the school in his first week here, and then just last week said maybe CEU should have done a little bit more to please the Hungarian government. How does it reflect on the support this school enjoys from the US, do you think?
I think what Ambassador Kornstein discovered is that this regime didn't want to solve this problem. I think the ambassador discovered in direct meetings with the Prime Minister and with other senior officials of this government that they would not sign the New York Agreement, and they would not sign any deal that would allow CEU, the American institution, to stay. I think that's what he discovered, and I regret that, and I'm dismayed by it. It's completely unnecessary. But the consequence that has to be understood by everybody in the room is that an American institution that has been here for 25 years and is accredited in the state of New York has been forced out of the country by a state that is an ally of the United States. I don't create these facts, but these are the facts. And I think Mr. Kornstein discovered that he was asked in the confirmation hearings when he appeared before the Senate of the United States. Many senators who've been to CEU, know this place, said, what are you going to do about CEU? They all asked him at the confirmation hearings, and Ambassador Kornstein said, well, I'm going to do what I can. And he got here and discovered there was no deal to be had. And the responsibility for that lies fair and square with the government of Hungary. Any more questions? We've answered all possible questions. I'd like to, just before we close, I'd like to say that this issue has aroused a great deal of national and international press attention. And I'd like to thank the members of the press in all the media for the attention they've given to this issue. Actually, it hasn't been all that welcome, We actually are a university. We want to go back to being a university, but we thank you for the attention and professionalism with which you have treated this issue.
And now we have to get back to work and make CEU thrive and prosper in the future. And I'd like to thank my old friend Attila Chikan, Joel Enyedi, Eva Fodor, and everybody for this press conference. And we are always available for the press. We're not looking for attention, but if there are questions you have, we'll try to answer them. Thank you very much.